Hi there. In this video, we'll be covering how to be motivated to write a book. The path to finishing your book is all about making the most of your time, and I'll teach you how to write your book with just 10 minutes of free time each day. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to unlock your book's purpose, how to build your book's foundation, and tips to help you stick with it, even when you want to put your book aside. And stay tuned until the end of the video for a free opportunity. Let's dive in. What is your goal for writing your book? What do you want to accomplish? What do you see at the end of this journey? Figuring out how your book fits into your larger goals is going to help you stay on track in the writing process. It's easy to lose sight and it's easy to lose steam when you don't have the bigger picture understanding in place. If you don't understand the destination, it's hard to justify the journey. And writing a book is really hard. So it's hard to justify spending all that time and effort and energy if you don't see something good at the end of that. This is really about the light at the end of the tunnel. This is about the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. This is really about figuring out what it is that you're trying to accomplish from writing this book, because that is going to keep you going even when you want to give up. Yeah, I've worked with people who have been on a journey of self-discovery and struggled mightily, but they understood that at the end of this book and forward lay all of their dreams. Their dreams were tied into this book. Everything they wanted to accomplish in the next phase of their life was tied to this book. So even when they wanted to give up and quit, even when the book was the most painful and difficult thing they were working on, they kept going and they kept going and they kept going because they saw value in it, because they saw this opportunity at the end of the journey. They saw their dreams through this book and they kept going and they stuck with it. And by publishing the book, their dreams became reality. Another thing I often talk to authors about is tying the book to your bigger business or career goals. If you want to be a public speaker, for example, you could use books to help build your career as a public speaker. The books could be a great opportunity to generate revenue for you. Maybe you have high-ticket coaching services, and maybe one book sale is going to make you tens of thousands of dollars. But it's really about finding the right person. It's much easier to think of books that way, as a stepping stone for this bigger thing, than it is simply looking at book sales. Most books don't sell many copies. Most books don't sell 100 copies, let alone 1,000. The idea that you can sell copy after copy of your book and build presence that way isn't necessarily valid in today's world. Certainly some books do break through, but a lot of them don't. And even if your book breaks through in the way that you think it should, sales-wise, it might not lead to anything more than that. So you're always kind of chasing something. You're always chasing something that's very elusive, where you tie your career or business offerings to the book itself and allow this book to be a springboard for your platform, for your services, for your coaching support, for your courses, whatever the case may be. It drives people. It takes them to that next step. So it's about the journey forward. It's about the bigger picture. And how does the book fit within your bigger picture? Understanding that is going to help you unlock your book's potential and help you keep going. Building a house, just like writing a book, is really about a strong foundation, a support structure, and rising from there. You don't want to start writing the entire book without recognizing what you're actually trying to say. So all that deep foundational work should come at the beginning of the project. Figure out what your hook is. Figure out the reader takeaway. Figure out the outline and the structure of the book. What's the reader benefit? Who is your ideal reader? All of these things, unlocking all of these pieces at the beginning of the process is going to make the writing process easier, which is then going to decrease the friction and pain points that you could encounter during the writing process. A lot of times authors get stuck and give up when they do a lot of writing, find out it's not going to be in the book, or maybe the book's purpose and focus evolves, and now all this writing is wasted, relatively wasted. It doesn't mean anything toward the book. So now you've spent all this time and effort on writing that isn't going in the book, and it's disappointing. By figuring out the framework at the beginning, by doing the hard work necessary at the beginning, you're going to save time later. But really, this is about taking out the pain points. This is about taking out the friction, the problems, and just writing when you can, making progress when you can, finding time in your busy schedule, making sure that there's not excuses. You should always be able to make progress, even if it's just for 5 or 10 minutes a day. In that little amount of time, you can actually do a lot of writing by doing writing sprints. Basically just sit down, give yourself 5, 10, 20 minutes and write as much as you can. Don't make it grammatically correct. Don't clean it up. Just brain dump your ideas onto the page. Just open up the vein and start flowing. The words flow out. And keep doing that, and keep doing that, and keep doing that. Writing sprints are a great way to build material quickly. By finding the time and making the commitment, you're building a good habit. You want to keep building good habits as you work on this book. You want to keep working on it. You want to keep, working out that muscle and just stick with it, because it's so easy to fall behind and give up. So many people have worked on projects like that where, you'll have this momentum and then you'll just stop. Maybe something happens, you got busy, maybe you took a vacation, and it's impossible to get back on track. This is really about building habitual writing into your schedule, whether that's on a daily process, a weekly process, whatever the case may be. You want to continue to make steady progress, but you also want to celebrate your wins. If you hit your writing goal for the month, treat yourself. If you hit it for the week, treat yourself. Keep track of these things. If you finish a chapter, treat yourself. Make sure that there's these wins and build on them, appreciate them, respect them, take a moment to acknowledge them. It's an awesome thing to see the chapters coming into shape, to see the writing coming into shape, to see all this whole book coming into focus. And then once you start writing one chapter after another, the dominoes fall. Now you're 10%, 20%, 30% done with this book. Those are real numbers. It's great to be able to get there, and it's great to be able to keep going. So you want to acknowledge it, you want to appreciate it, and you want to keep motivating yourself to keep going forward. A great step and a great way to keep going is to find an accountability partner, whether a ghostwriter or a coach, finding a professional to work with and having them help you along, to give you the clarity and give you the confidence to keep going. To know that your story is being told in the most powerful way possible, that you're making your story unique compared to other books in the marketplace, that it doesn't just read like some other book that's already out, that, is going to make your book forgotten. You want your book to stand out, whether it's an audience of 1, an audience of 1,000, an audience of 1,000,000. You want it to stand out and be different and be uniquely yours. Doing all those things is going to help you stay motivated, because you have purpose, you have a story to tell, you have something to say, and there's going to be so many people on the opposite side of that who are so excited to hear your message, who are learning from this message, who are, excited to grow because of the things that you're telling them and sharing with them. That's the powerful thing, is being able to pass along our stories to other people so they can read and learn from them. If you want to learn more about how to be motivated to write a book, I have a course that I think would be great for you. It's called Good Book Blueprint. Just head to goodbookblueprint.com and sign up for the free course. I recorded it with a colleague and friend of mine, Nate Woodbury, who produces YouTube channels. And, we talked through the entire book writing process from beginning to end, from ideation to publication on forward. Just really the ins and outs and just the bigger picture of writing a book. And I just think there's a lot of high value content within that course that will be valuable to you. So you should check it out and get a feel for, the book process, because books are daunting, but if you can take away some of your anxiety, your pain points, your friction, your struggles, your uncertainty and doubt, you're going to be that much stronger to want to keep going. You're going to be that much more motivated to want to keep going and to drive forward with your book. Remember, a good book can change your life. I'm Dan Good. Thanks for watching.